afternoon, everyone. Today, I am Payal Satav here to speak on the topic the National Education Policy Program 2020, the opportunities and the challenges. Today, I live in a nation who has given the zero to the world, who has given the game like chess to the world, and today everybody is ready behind searching the Ayurveda which the India has given to the world many thousands of years ago. But unfortunately, when it comes to our education system, we think that everybody complains that our education system needs to be improved and it is not the perfect solution for our education system. But I think that as our country India has too much cultural diversity, yet it is not our weakness, but it is the strength of our country India. Same like that, our education system should not be the weakness, it must be the strength of our country India. Let's take the example of the ancient universities like the Takshashila, Vikramshila, Nalanda, Vallabhi and the Pushpagiri, which are the best ever examples of the education system of India in the whole world. As every coin has two sides, yes, definitely there would be some weaknesses in our education system, but rather than just focusing on the negative part of it, I would like to say that we have to make way forward from it, and today here I can proudly say that yes, we have accepted that the way forward from it, that is the National Education Policy Program 2020. Now, let's look towards this National Education Policy Program. The National Education Policy Program 2020 was first announced by the late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and after it, also there have been so many efforts for the implementation of the National Education Policy. And finally, on the 29th July 2020, the Union Cabinet approved the National Education Policy Program, and the National Education Policy Program lays the emphasis on the holistic development and the creative development of each individual. It focuses on the holistic and the overall growth of the students. The NEP wants to make the students more about the overall growth of the students and make them able to stay sustainable in this competitive world. As per the Indian Constitution Act of the 2002, the Article 21 has said that it promotes the free education and the compulsory education to the students. Also, the Article 46 of the Indian Constitution promotes the educational interest among the social weaker of the students, mainly in the weaker section of the society, that is the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes. But it is fortunate, we are fortunate that the National Education Policy is now combining these both articles and more emphasizing on the skill development of the students. Now, there have been some opportunities of the National Education Policy providers. Let's look towards these opportunities. The National Education Policy first provides better facilities to the students in the schools, colleges and the universities. As per recommended by the Kolte Commission, the National Education Policy has implemented replacing the 10+2 pattern and now is implementing the 5+3+3+4 pattern, which means that the students will spend the 5 years on their foundation stage, 3 years on the middle stage, 3 years on the preparatory stage, and finally the 4 years on the secondary stage. The National Education Policy wants to make the students' overall growth focusing on the skill development. Another opportunity would be the more choices for the students in the schools, colleges and the universities by providing the huge sky of the opportunities to fly high and high in that sky to be sustainable in this competitive world. The National Education Policy Program provides so many choices for the students to select the subjects and the languages of their preference which make the sustainable growth of the students. The another would be the more emphasizes on the skill development and developing the skill rather than just focusing on the theoretical knowledge. The national education policy is focusing on the skill development among the students. Another would be another opportunity would be the more emphasizing on the skill development, and I would like to share some its negative part, which maybe its challenges it is facing. The challenges the national education policy is facing, that the lack of trained teachers means if the students are able to learn and if the students want to learn, but if there is a lack of trained teachers, the students are unable to learn. So I would like to say that the lack of trained teachers would be the another challenge in the implementation of the National Education Policy Program 2020. Next, the funding issue is the biggest issue of our country, India, because as per the economic survey of the 2019 and 20, that India spends only 3% of its GDP on the education policy. So I would like to say that it would be the major implementation challenge in the National Education Policy Program. Another would be the language barrier. Yes, the students wants to learn so many languages, but if the resources are not available, if the teachers are not available to teach them the different languages and the subjects they want to learn, yes, definitely it would be the another implementation challenge in the national education policy. And another challenge would be the narrow-minded people. As we all know, the God Sri Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita that change is the law of the world, but there are so many people in our society today also, they don't accept this change, and same happens with the national education policy, that these narrow-minded people can become the major problem in the implementation of the national education policy. So these are some implementation challenges, and I would like to conclude my speech by saying my views on this topic and the way forward from it. That is, today it has been 77 years since since the British has left this nation, but we are still living in their inferiority complex, using the various schemes to heighten our skills, heighten our culture, heighten our standard of life, and heighten our education. So, in this era of the modernization, I would like to say to every youth of my nation that as a youth of my nation, as a youth of this nation, I can wear the American clothes, I can put on the German watch, but my identity, which is going to be decided by